Mr. President, I rise today on Tax Day to recognize this as the very last time Americans will have to file their taxes under the complicated, burdensome, outdated system of the past. Today, we officially kick off a new tax code, one that's simpler, fairer, and allows hardworking Americans to keep more of their hard-earned money. Since we passed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act just last December, success stories have poured into my office from Indiana businesses that are paying their workers more and from constituents who are earning more. Tax reforms provided needed relief across Indiana and across the entire country. To date, we've found scores of companies in my home state of Indiana who've invested in their employees, invested in capital improvements, or lowered energy rates for consumers. They range in size from large companies like Walmart and AT&T to smaller Indiana businesses like Family Express, which has 70 convenience stores across the state and now is building 10 more and increasing its starting wage. We feel obligated to pass on a significant portion of the tax savings to our staff, said Family Express President and CEO Gus Olympidis. My guest to this year's State of the Union address was another beneficiary of this historic tax overhaul. Chelsea Hatfield is a young mother of 3 children, teller at a rural branch of First Farmers Bank and Trust Company in Tipton, Indiana. Chelsea received a raise and a bonus as a result of this tax reform effort. This additional income will help Chelsea go back to school to earn her associate's degree. It will enable her to put money away for her children's future college education. Chelsea represents so many Americans who work in small towns, who live in our rural communities, and who are going to get a fair shot because of the benefits from tax reform. And the tax reform success stories don't stop there. NIPSCO, or the Northern Indiana Public Service Company, is an electric utility company in Merrillville, Indiana. They're passing on $26 million in new savings to their customers. Andy Mark, a mechanical and electrical parts supplier in Kokomo, is hiring more employees. Muncie Aviation Company is providing tax reform bonuses for all of its employees. One Hoosier who lives in Cedar Lake, Indiana, is growing his 3rd-generation milk hauling business. And another who lives in southern Indiana and works for U-Haul down in Louisville used his $500 tax bonus to pay a bill. Now, these bonuses and raises are allowing more Hoosiers to save for a rainy day, to put more money away towards their child's education, to make repairs to their home, and to keep food on the table. Now, it's worth noting, when we were debating tax reform, I listened carefully to feedback from my constituents across Indiana. Spent a lot of time traveling the state, holding roundtables, visiting businesses, talking to folks on the street, and I'm glad to say Hoosier voices were heard, and they're receiving the tax relief they asked for. So I look forward to continue hearing Hoosiers' tax reform success stories. And like the rest of America, I look forward to this being the last day of the old, outdated tax system. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.